What's up, gamers? Jessica here with Guiding Bolt Gaming. If you ask a D&D player what's the most dangerous thing in a D&D game, many will respond with an answer of a dragon, deity, or even the Tarrasque. I wouldn't disagree. Any of these beings would likely make an adventurer quake in their boots. That being said, I like to postulate the 10 things in today's list are even more deadly to a game of D&D. Up first is a wizard casting fireball by a player that's new to the game, who isn't paying attention, or who just doesn't give a beep. Now, I can forgive the first player type. It may not be pretty, but hopefully they're about to learn a valuable lesson. The other two players, unless it's a rare or unique circumstance for the one who's not paying attention, they're just being jerk players. I won't argue this further, but no matter the who's or how's, I think we can all agree that 8d6 straight to the face, at a minimum, can be an infernal sting that can really char the team. Up next, we have scheduling. You know what I mean, the weekly dance to find a day and time that works for everyone in the group. Even when you have a set day and time each week, real life always finds a way to creep in and ruin the schedule. Dang you, adult life, alternative hobbies, and other responsibilities. Third, we have the cliched bard. Gosh darn it, keep your mouth shut and your pants on. It's all fun and games until a dragon shows up at your door as a scorned lover. The rest of the party doesn't want to pay for your shenanigans. You thought 8d6 was bad? Wait until you're all the playthings of a giant adult dragon. As an aside, funnily enough, our party's cleric happens to fill this role. At least his recently acquired STDs, succubus transmitted diseases, keep only to himself. You had to expect the next one on our list. After all, they may be the single most dangerous item in all of D&D, our dice. Talk about a rocky relationship. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. I get a good laugh out of reading other people's dice shaming memes, but it sucks when your dice are misbehaving. I had a session a few weeks back where I was having a heck of a time even hitting my combat opponents. When I did manage to hit with my Witch Bolt spell, I kid you not, my dice rolls on my D12 were 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1. Aha! Take that! I static shock you? At least I was able to maintain concentration, I guess. How do you punish your dice when they decide to nat 1 too many times? Dice jail? Melt them? Crush them? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear all your ideas. I've got a few dice that could learn a lesson or two. Let's move into dangerous item number 5, Mundane World Encounters. I want to give a shout out to Guiding Bolt fan Stephen M for this one. We were discussing the mundane item video when we got into the topic of environmental features that scare some characters silly because they've nearly died so many times from them. Stephen's character is always falling off cliffs. See the previous danger. Plus, his character has fallen through so many pit traps that he's now scared of floors. Isurus, my party's bard, who's not the cliché I might add, nearly drowned 5 times in just about as many character levels. It's become a running gag at the table now, but the poor guy, we're not even out at sea or anything, plus the situations are never a result of poor judgments or decisions on his part either. He always finds himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, or suffers the fate of bad dice roll. Again, see the previous danger. Good thing he recently acquired a necklace of water breathing. I would be remiss to leave this next one off the list because it's probably right up there with the dice, and that's the party itself. Seriously, why are we always our own worst enemies? Think about it for a second. Every person in your group has done one of the following things at least once. Pulled the lever, pushed the button, touched the statue, said, "I got this," when they're granted a wish, but unable to resist the temptation of the deck of many things, has suggested the party split up, has wanted to trust the clearly creepy little girl or obviously evil NPC. We just can't seem to help ourselves. In fact, our table has installed a rule. We've banned ourselves from making important in-game decisions after 10 p.m. It never ends up well. By this time of the night, our minds tend to be running on empty as we play on Friday nights after long, busy weeks at work. More power to those groups that play strong until 2 in the morning. Number 6 on today's list is player versus player prone players. Hey, cut it out already, would you? We're teammates. We're supposed to be in this together. Quit picking fights with the party and stealing our stuff. If you pull this, the party will kill you, the same it does of any evil creature. Enough said. Let's move on. We know the players can be deadly to themselves, but let's flip the screen. Whoo boy, the party's in for a nasty treat if they're facing a vengeful, pissed off, or at their ends wet DM. What did you guys do? Forget to bring snacks to share? Play on your phones all last session? Better make a peace offering because this one is likely on you. Don't forget, your DM puts a lot of time and effort into the games. Don't take that for granted. Up next at number 8 is greed. This deadly sin comes in various forms within a D&D session, ever hoping to wreak havoc upon the party. Sometimes party members crave answers, others lust after gold riches, and some hunger for magical weapons or power. Whatever form greed rears its ugly head as, it tends to get the player, if not the whole party, into hot water. There's nothing like triggering a vampiric jade statue after finding and touching a pile of gold, to then find out post-battle that the coins are only made of wood. What a letdown. Rolling into our next slot are dungeon hazards like green slime, brown mold, and yellow mold. Sure, these things tend to be less problematic for characters who are educated or experienced in handling them, but for those who aren't, they can pack a bit of a punch, especially yellow mold. Adventurer beware, this nasty little fungus will hit you with a cloud of spores requiring a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. Failure means 2d10 poison damage and you become poisoned for 1 minute. While poisoned, you'll take an additional 1d10 poison damage each turn until you can save. Last but not least, we have a locked wooden door. Oh, locked wooden door, why must you trouble us so much? It can't just be the parties I'm in, right? Please tell me one of your parties has been stopped dead in its tracks by a seemingly innocent-looking door that happens to be locked. If the party decides to check the door for traps, it's generally a normal door. If the party decides to burst or break through without checking the door, it always ends up being trapped and smacks back at the character that tried to go through. Funny how that works. And that wraps up our list of 10 things more deadly than dragons or Tarrasques to or in a game of D&D. I hope you got a chuckle or two out of today's list. If you were actually hoping for a list of deadly monsters, don't worry, I won't disappoint. Check back next week for our list of 10 deadly D&D creatures. Until then, which of today's items has been the deadliest to or in your games? Drop a comment below so we can both laugh and commiserate together. Until next time, may the dice odds be actually in your favor.